What's up everybody, and thank you for joining me back into Farthest Frontier. Now, I haven't done a playthrough since the release of version 0.9.7, so I thought it would be a good idea to start a new playthrough and also showcase to you my L-shape base layout or city layout. It's one of my favorite layouts to use. It's also good from a defensive perspective, and we are anticipating the full release of Farthest Frontier very soon. So this is kind of also like to psych us up for the full release. I'm super excited to get into that once it drops, and I'll definitely cover everything about that because there's so many different things that's going to be added to the game, and I'll give you some tip and strategy videos in the coming days. But let's jump into it and start a new settlement. I'm going to use the normal settings for the Trailblazer, and let's use the name Netherwood. I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to stick to a medium-sized map, and I like to do the Idyllic Valley. For me, that's just one of my favorite maps. It really enables you to go any direction, whether you want to focus on mining, farming, or just use bodies of water to gather the resources that you need. And by the way, that's also going to be a thing that's going to really feature once the full version drops. But let's go into it. Okay, great. So we are currently on the new map, and I just want to scroll around and just see what's happening around me. Now, this is already looking very promising. I mean, we've got an infinite supply of charcoal over here, a very big stone supply over here. Then we've got an infinite stone over here, good clay deposit. And it looks like we've got a good iron deposit here. So all of these earth minerals are like all together. So I want to kind of like not be too far from this. This actually looks really nice. But ideally, because I'm doing the L-shaped base, I feel like being close to a body of water also kind of acts as a defensive barrier. So this is looking good for me to maybe use as a starting point, because this water will definitely be like a defensive barrier once we get attacked by bandits. So far, from what I can see, this does look like a good location. I mean, there's no hunting spots, but the fertility looks relatively good. We've got good fishing spots, and the water levels also look really good over here. So just on the opposite side, we do have a hunting spot over here, and going up we've got a boar's den, a little small dam over here, also with a good fishing spot. And then we've got infinite supplies of iron, stone, oh my goodness, and we've got sand. This is very rare that I get like a sand deposit on the mountain like this, and we've actually got two. This is so awesome. Okay, well, so far this map is looking beautiful. It's really got everything that I need. We've got like a treasure over there, and another body of water with a boar's den over there. We've got clay. Yeah, this also kind of looks good, but the only problem is you can see over here we've got a bandit camp, which is not going to be really conducive for us to build on that side. But if we move, yeah, maybe a little bit more up, I would say around about here, I think this is going to be a good location for us. We've got that clay deposit over there. It's not too far from a starting point. Yeah, but overall, I'm very happy with this location. Not too far from where we're starting off. So let's go ahead and place the town center maybe over here. We don't have a lot of trees around, but I think we should be fine over here. So let's do this. Let's just place it right over here. Okay, so now first things first, I always start off by placing a road around the town center. It's not necessary, but I like to do this. And then I'm going to extend this road downwards. So I think what I am going to do is I'm going to use this road going down this way. This section over here, so the bottom part of the L, let's call it that. This will be part of my residential area. And then we're going to extend the L, or the L shape, towards the right. I'm going to just extend it slightly up, and we're going to bring it towards this side over here. Now this leg that's going out towards this side, this is going to be where all my production is going to happen. Now I want to kind of like get the width of this residential area. So let's just see. Kind of like bring it all the way to here, I would say. maybe a little bit further. Okay, so this road is going to be like the boundary for the residential area. So it's going to be a thin residential area, but a elongated area. And then from here, we're going to extend the production side. Okay, so I'm kind of like just starting with laying out all the roads to give me an idea of how I want to do the future expansion. So let's go ahead and first we want to get our firewood splitter. Now this doesn't affect the desirability of the houses, so I'm going to go ahead and place it right over there. And then we can also look at placing a well point. Maybe somewhere over here. Yeah, I think I'm going to just place it over here. We've got a 69% water bonus there. And then maybe we can look at placing another well a little bit further down towards this side. So we can start by placing a few houses as well. Oh, we first need a town center. Okay, well, let's just speed this up so that we can get that town center going. We actually do have a decent amount of trees. It looked like there wasn't as much, but this is okay. This is going to be sufficient for what we need. Well, at least just at the start. Alright guys, come on. Let's prioritize this town center, get it going. Yeah, so we're gonna see a whole bunch of pop-ups like your villagers needs this and your villagers needs that. So that's just part of the whole process. Now what I definitely need to do is to get my fishing going. So I'm going to, yeah, I think I'm going to just do like a little road like this. So this little section over here, this is going to be the boundary of the city. I think I'm going to do it like that. And then we can place our fishing hut or fishing shack. We can place right over here. And another one over here, actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to focus on getting the fishing going first because we've got very good fishing locations over here. Not so many foraging stuff. I mean, we've got the willows over here, but I do need to get some herbs going. We've got a little patch of herbs over there. We've got some herbs here at the bottom. But not too many herbs, really. So I think what I will do is I'll probably place a forage shack over here. We've got quite a few greens, only one patch of herbs. The nice thing about it is you can move your working zone around instead of moving the whole building. But yeah, I think I do want to place my forager shack over there, like so. And then what we can do, also additionally, we can build our smokehouse. I'm going to build the smokehouses here at the top, I think. So in that way, it won't affect the desirability of my houses. So let's just place one like that. Alright, and I'm going to just color in all of these shrubs and trees so that we can harvest that. And this ox cart, we can maybe... Let's just maybe move this upwards. And I'm going to fast forward everything. Okay, so with the housing, I think I'm going to start by placing 9 houses. And I'm going to do it like in the shape of a big square. This is one of the layouts that I like to use. So we're keeping the middle space open and we're going to place some sort of decorative item. We can either do like a garden or we can place a shrine. So when you go to amenities, you can see that we can fit a little shrine in there. So this is for me actually ideal, is to place a shrine over there. Then we do get some faith, I believe. Faith, happiness, is it? Or spirituality. Okay, that's what they call it. So we will get some spirituality going as well. Now, I've said this before in one of my other playthroughs. I like the fact that they don't refer maybe like to a specific type of religion. Just to keep it like unbiased and also non-political. So I do like that it's just like they basically choosing their own whatever they believe in. Right, so I'm going to just go ahead and pull this road through. I've got to also now check where I want to place my markets. We've got the firewood splitters, I think. Yeah, let's just keep the one for now. Right, and we've got a fisherman now. So I'm going to go ahead and use this location over here. You can see we've got a 90% boost in production. And for this one, same story. We're going to get a very decent boost. If I can get like a strategic location over here. Yeah. You see, so we can also get it like to 190 right over there. Yeah, that is absolutely perfect. So we're going to just use it like that. I want to prioritize the smokehouse so that we can keep the fish fresher for longer. Now, also additionally, what I want to do is when I start with my crop fields, the crop fields are going to basically go into the center of the L. And the reason why I do that is because at the end of my residential area, I'm going to have a castle or a fortress over here, or a keep, whatever you call it. That's going to be over here, and then I'm going to do another one on this side over here. So if I do get attacked, like let's say from this location where the crop fields are, then it's going to be easy to defend it. And also defending the city from any other direction, we've got a town center, which is a very good defensive structure. And I will place some extra watchtowers here as well. But it's going to be easy for the keeps to get here to this location from both sides. And I'll probably maybe add like a third keep here in any case, close to the town center. That is probably also the direction that I'm going to look at going eventually. But overall, your L-shape city layout is a pretty good one defensively. And practically. I mean, if you've got like a body of water like this, this is also going to create like a barrier, like I said. Right, so we've got the forager shack now up. Yeah, we've got 2 patches of herbs, which is great. I don't think it's enough, but it's okay. We've got plenty of greens, plenty of greens. So this is going to help our population just so that they don't get scurvy. That's very important. So yeah, you can see over here we've got the boar, whatever they call it, like a boar den. And look at this rock. This is just excellent. It's so close to our starting point. We're not going to have issue with stone for a very long time. And here we're setting up our first houses. We've got the smokehouse also going. And yeah, I think I'm going to just make the smokehouse focus on the fish. We don't have any meat, and we're not going to have meat for quite some time. Now, what I'm going to do here over here, I'm going to leave a little bit of space open for decorative items and also for the defensive structures. So I think keeping 3 blocks open would suffice. Well, actually, we might need to do 4 because this is where the wall is going to be, and we're going to have the road just on the outside. So let's do 4 this way, 4 that way. Yeah. I'm going to just do it like this. So using the roads as lines just to determine where my outer lines of the city is going to be really helps me just to structure everything. And then we can go ahead and place our first crop field right over here. Now I think 8 by 5. Yeah, I think this should be good just to start with. I think this is a decent size. It's not too big. But yeah, I'm going to go for that. And then we need to set up also our graveyard. That's something that you do need to look at quite early. If anything happens, if you've got any corpses laying around, it's really not good for your civilization. for many reasons. But I don't want to make the graveyard too big. Let's just do it like that. They can harvest those trees as well. So I think it's good to just place it there so that they can chop down those trees. We need it in any case. Alrighty. I'm going to... Yeah, I think let's just leave it like this for now. I think everything is running smoothly the way it is. We've got a good production of fish at the moment, I think. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Okay, so we just need the forager to get going on this side. But let's also go ahead and start placing our storages. So I think I would like to place my storage here on this corner, close to where the residential area is. You know, I'm thinking ideally you probably do want to add another wall to protect this residential area. Yeah, so let's maybe do this. Let's leave a little space here to do like an extra wall. I'm going to have to move my town center as well. But I'll do that off screen, and the firewood splitter. I'm just going to leave that small space or the small gap over here so that we can do that extra barrier. So there will be one wall going around this way, that way, and then one here in the middle just to block off this section over here. So like almost with every game that I start with Farthest Frontier, the wood is really like a problem at the beginning. Oh yeah, but look at our food now. So we've got so much greens, right? Because of this radius where the forager is harvesting. The only downside is these greens really goes off quickly. You can see there, these foods are all gonna spoil. Gonna lose 8 months of food very soon. Now, and that's why we need to get that cellar also up. The cellar does prevent the spoilage a little bit. Now we do have enough housing for new immigrants to come in. So I'm hoping we'll get a bunch of people that will come in soon. And our overall happiness is not looking bad at all. So this should attract the new immigrants. And we're heading into our first winter now. Okay, but yeah, I'm really happy with this forager over here. In fact, you know what? We can actually move this down. Then we've got nuts as well, like plenty of nuts, and the nuts will definitely last longer. And we've got a clay deposit here of 3,000. This is really good. I'm very happy with that. So we've got a lot of major resources in very close proximity to where our city is. And there we've got 6 additional villages now. This is going to be great now. Just to help with all the harvesting, getting the extra wood. Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and color in all of these trees. And there's another 2 immigrants coming in and 2 villagers spawned. Okay, that's great. So we're off to a really good start. We've already got 22 residents here now. Let's prioritize this house over here just to open up some extra space. Okay, not much is going to go on now in the winter time. Bustling market, okay, cool. You see, I'm going to have to find like a hunting spot somewhere. Now, yes, I do know we've got the boars over here. It's not really ideal. Let's just extend the road up. And there we've got an infinite supply of sand. So what I intend to do is I'm gonna probably go ahead and try to flatten this whole area over here. It's gonna be a really long process to get this territory flattened, but then in this way we can then have 2 deep mines at the same time. And that's definitely only for in-game in any case. I think I want to just maybe send an explorer towards this side. I want to see if I can get some extra hunting points, or hunting spots rather. Now I do know we've got this bandit camp over here, so I don't really want to go that way. We can maybe send a worker towards that side, and maybe another one towards this side. See, we've got one hunting spot over here, which is quite far from where our city is. Yeah, you know what? I think I do need to get my hunter set up over here, because we're going to need those hides, and you need hides for quite a few things. I mean, we need it for those coats as well, which helps us keep us warm, and it's also a nice thing just to defend your workers, just as an extra barrier or extra protection. Alternatively, we could go the route of getting livestock. Goats in particular, we only need a tier 2 town center. It's not too hard to upgrade to that. Most important thing is we're going to need to get our sawmill up and running. And then from there we're going to also need a market. But we've got a small forest over here that's going to just help us with the wood. I think once we've got a few extra villagers in the town, and we can just assign them all to chop down the trees. So let's look at this currently. Yeah, so it says here at least 5 laborers is recommended for the town to function efficiently. I think we can maybe just add another person as a builder. We've got 10 laborers. Now I want to keep the laborers high, especially at this stage of the game. But we do need those extra builders. So I've got 5 builders assigned now. I think that should be fine. But the rest I'm all going to keep them as laborers just to harvest all of these different things. Let's just prioritize this graveyard. I feel quite an urgency to get this up and running. Alrighty, so we've got our store yard. We've got that finished, or stockyard, we've got that finished. Now from here we need to get our sawmill up, so I'm going to place the sawmill right over there, and we can prioritize this one as well. And let's maybe add one more worker for ourselves. You can see the forage shack is full, so I'm going to go ahead and move the ox carts maybe just more towards the side. Then it's kind of like in the middle between of all the production that we've got going. Okay, so from there we're going to also go ahead and add our cellar. Let's maybe first do this. Let's add our storehouse. And then I'm going to do my cellars. So then from here we can squeeze 2 cellars in. I'm going to just do the one for now. And let's pull a small road through like this. Just keeping the movement relatively easy between all of the different structures. I can bring the road through. There we go. Okay, so we've got housing space for 32 people. I think we can maybe just go ahead and add another 1 or 2 houses. 1, 2, or let's do, no, let's do 2. Okay, right, so the water is starting to become an issue. I thought it would. So we're going to just go ahead and add another well a little bit lower down. Now I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my well over here. And then we're also going to place the market not too far from the well. And then we can do like a few decorative items around the well, just to increase the desirability as well. Yeah, you can see they want a market. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and add maybe just a 3rd worker over here. Okay, cool. Our graveyard is up and we've got a capacity for 112 people. Now this is really good. I'm happy with that. Okay, so the crop field is done. And how many workers? We've got 2 workers assigned, you see. So for me, this is nice. It's a nice size, especially at the beginning stages of the game. You don't want too many workers committed to this. And we're going to just do it like this. Just to make sure that we get rid of all the weeds, the rocks, and also increase the fertility. I'll have to run it for 3 years, at least. But our fishing production is good enough to sustain us definitely for the next 3 years. And, you know, I do want to look at just maybe getting a hunter cabin over here. We've got a deer spawning point. Let's just see. It's only 3 deer. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is not really ideal. We've got 2 boars over here also. Now the boars, they do give good meat and hide. It's just that one hunter is not enough to take them on, especially if there's 2 boars. I don't know how effective this hunting cabin is going to be, but we don't have any other deer spawning points nearby. Let's just maybe take a worker to explore a little bit further down. Move flag, let's move it a little bit further down. We've got a deer spawning point over here, only 2. Yeah, so you see it's not really good spawning points that we've got over here. Okay, you know, I'm going to just take the chance and build like a hunting cabin over here. What I do like about the hunter cabins is that the hunters are quite effective in fighting off the first 1 or 2 raids that you get in your town. So it's nice to have them nearby. Oh, we've got plenty of foraging over here. Another good fishing spot though. And there's a decent amount of medicinal roots. You see, so these deer spawning points, move flag, let's move it a little bit up. So we've got these really small spawning points. Here's a relatively good one. We've got 4 deer over here. Okay, that's actually not too shabby. So going down this way, let's just maybe bring the road down. And we can make it go up a little bit like this. Yeah. You see, now we've also got an infinite coal deposit over here. So this mountain is amazing, like with everything that you can get over here. There we've got a really good iron deposit, two good iron deposits. And a good coal deposit as well. Well, not that good, but it's okay. Righty, so we did get a few extra workers in, so from here the harvesting with the trees, it should go a little bit quicker now. let's see what's happening here. Okay, there's another decent spawning point. So right around the city, but a little bit further out, we've got a few deer spawning points. Now I know, like I said, I think over here we've got a bandit camp, so that's a little bit of a bummer. It's not really ideal for us. Okay, but we've got these hazelnut spawning points. Just want to see with the food. Yeah, that's going to really come in handy. So then we'll have our fish, our smoked fish. We've got the greens and then also the nuts and the berries. So I think the best thing for me to do in order to get proper hide, a decent amount of leather really, is to just start my goat farms and get the goat farms up and running as quick as I can. And in order to do that, we're going to need to get to the tier 2 for the town center. And the goats, they do cost quite a bit of money, especially at the beginning. So I'm going to have to look for some sort of commodity that I can trade with as well. What I do like to do at the beginning is clothing is a really good commodity to sell at the beginning stages, if you can get that going. And then also we've got the clay over there, so the pottery is good. Speaking of that, I'm going to just make another road, extend it up towards the side, so that once we can start getting the clay or harvesting the clay, that we've got a road there laid out already. Okay, another 2 villages. Let's just see what's happening over here. So currently we've got 8 laborers working together. That's not too bad for the amount of residents that we've got currently. 9, 10. Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to keep the labor force like that for now. And we've got 6 builders. Should I add another one? No. Let's just leave it like that. I think it's okay. So we're prioritizing the well, and I want to prioritize my cellar as well. So we've got now already plenty of planks. And we can now also build a smaller storage deposit. So, you know, this storage depot, sorry, that's what it's called. This also came with the version 0.9.7, but I mean, this is really actually such a cool design. I still need to look at how much you can store in here, but just because of the actual size of this structure, it makes it so appealing for me. I mean, you can fit a couple of these in with the cellars, and you can just use one big block for cellars and these mini storage depots. And yeah, I think it's pretty practical the way that it's laid out also. Okay, so we've got our second well, so this should sort out the water problem. Now let's just see here. We've got enough blanks for us to set up our market. Well, almost enough, but it's getting there. So this definitely would be a good location for the market. You can see it's going to cover that whole block of the second block of houses that we're going to have. And we can do, like I say, we can do some decorative items if I want to. Really, I can squeeze another house in here, right over there. I can also do that, I suppose, if I want to. But I'm going to just keep on coloring in all the trees that surround the city. Wood is so important in this game, it's unreal. There we go, there's a whole bunch of shrubbery which they can collect. Now I just want to see, so yeah, our initial cost for the shrine is 100 coins, so we do need to get that marketplace up first so that we can accumulate some coins. And yeah, I do think this is going to be the best bet for me to just place a shrine in the middle over here. And then you can see there it's going to push the desirability up with 7% for each of the houses. Like I say, I don't know if this hunter cabin is really at the ideal spot. I mean, we've got this deer spawning point over here, but I think the production is going to be very slow. I'll have to look at getting another hunter on this side. Let's see, we've got a small spawning point over there as well, and another one over here. Yeah, no, the best thing to do would be to get the goat farms going. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to corner this off. And then just on the right side of this road, this is where I'm going to place my livestock. So you see what's actually interesting about this L-shaped city that I'm building now. I didn't even think of it. But now we've got another body of water that's going to act as a defensive barrier for us. So if I, for example, extend the city all the way towards, let's say, over here, I can place a wall there and it's going to block the people off. It's going to corner them off. Let's say if they attack from the top here, from the northwest, then it's going to block them or prevent them from reaching this side. Okay, there we've got another 6 people. Okay, this is fantastic. So this is something that I can also admittedly say is that the immigration has sped up quite a bit with the recent updates, which I'm so happy about, because initially this game's with the immigration, it was so slow. It would just like drag on for no reason or whatsoever. But yeah, so far everything is looking really good. We've got a good work rate, birth rate, immigration rate. Even the combat efficiency seems to be good. And they are 87% happy with food. The shoes and the clothes, it is going to become a problem, I think very soon. So let's go ahead and add another hunting cabin over here. So this will just have to be happy with these hunting cabins being so far away. Like I say, I don't know how efficient they're going to be, but we're going to need to get those wagon shops. Once we get to the tier 2, we're going to have to set up these wagon shops for the hunters. So let's see, we only need 60 planks now to upgrade to the tier 2. So what we can do is we can add another worker here to the sawmill just to boost that plank production. Let's just add another 2. Let's just make them get 6 in there. I think we've got enough laborers now in any case as it is. Yeah. So we've got 15. We can do maybe 7 builders. And I'm going to just let them harvest all of this wood over here. And I think if we've got the storage cards a little bit closer, that will also make that whole process go a little bit quicker. Seeing that we've got the storage buildings over here, I might as well move this a little bit up. Okay, so the housing got full pretty quickly, I must say. So we're going to just go ahead and add another 3 houses. Alright, so now in this way we can now also collect the gold more efficiently. And we've already got 30 gold, that's really cool. You know, what I can do is I could possibly sell stone as well. Don't think the money is too good for it though. Right, so as you can see, the crop fields still has got a long way to go. And by the way, I think we do need to add another one. 8x5, yeah. Let's do another 2. 8x5, there we go. Right, so this is where all my crops are going to be. I don't think we need to fence it, so the fencing is only important if you've got deer walking around and they might destroy your crop fields, but we really don't have any wildlife around here. It can act maybe as a barrier if you've got like a little fence, but I've seen them breaking through these like farm fences so quickly, so it's not really gonna make that big of a difference. Okay, so we're upgrading now to the tier 2. And I think what we can also do is I can maybe just look at adding another smokehouse. We only need one worker to work there, but I need to make sure that there's enough smokehouses just to smoke all the meats. I don't want to leave any raw meat laying around. Okay, so now the food looks a little bit better. There's 100% security over there. And let's just prioritize this town center over here. Now, I don't think it's going to make any difference for me to build a cobbler shop or a tannery at this stage. But what we can do is we can definitely get a compost yard. I know it's pretty bad, but I tend to always place my compost yards close to where the graveyards are. Don't ask me why, I just feel like it's practical, I suppose. So, yeah, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna maybe place it, don't want it too far from the residential buildings also. So, you know what, let's just maybe make it a little bit closer. Like, I would say over here. I think that should be sufficient. And then the basket shop is very important. Let's just go ahead and place one over here. Right, and then from there we definitely need the Fletcher building also up and running. Okay, great stuff. Right, so I'm going to add another worker here to work at the firewood splitting. And we've got a hunting cabin set up here now. Right, so we're going to move our hunting zone towards this location. Like I say, I don't know how effective this is going to be, but we'll have to make do with what we have. And yeah, I'm gonna make this hunting zone over there like so. So the plus side is that they can set traps eventually, but we're gonna need the iron also for that. One thing that I'm quite happy about is I don't see too many bears around here. So that's good. Right, we can start with the apiaries as well. Now, the apiaries is for me also a really good commodity when I do the trade, because they always have an overproduction of it. So let's go ahead and place my apiary right over here. And the potter building, yes. So that I would probably want over here like so. Maybe like this. Okay, so it requires plenty of blanks. But we need this to do the trades. And then we're going to look at adding our trading post. Now the trading post, I think it's also a good idea to keep this relatively close to where all the storage buildings are. So if we place it like this, I think this would be good. Just want to see something. Yeah, I'm gonna place it like that. So then what I want to do on a later stage, so obviously I'm going to have a wall that's gonna go through here. See, let's just do this. Sorry. I'm gonna have a wall that's gonna go through here. And then from there, I want to let it go up. So in fact, I do want to move this slightly up. Just like so. So we're going to leave that little space open for the wall. I'm probably going to do a lot of rearranging still. I'm just coloring all of these trees in. I think we can maybe look at adding a work camp over here because we've got a good combination between stone and wood. Close to where the hunting cabin is. And the tannery, yeah, we can place the tannery right over here. And then we're going to need another water source, right? So we do need the water here for the tannery specifically, and also actually for the pottery. We've got a relatively good water boost here, so let's maybe just go ahead and place one over there. Impending heat wave. Okay, so it's not really too big of a deal because we don't have any crop fields as of yet. I think it does affect your water a little bit. Also, maybe not. I'm not actually sure about that one. But as far as I know, it's only the crop fields that get affected with the heat waves. Okay, so we've got currently now 62 gold. It's building up nicely. And I want to get that shrine built. We know what we can do. Maybe just for now. Decorations, there we go. We can maybe place a small park over here, right? Because we've got this little space here as well. Oh, the park actually has more gold. Oh my word. Okay, I thought it was the other way around. Tall brush. We can do a little bit of vegetation in between if we want to. Let's just see this flag. Well, the flagpole, it doesn't give too much desirability additional, so anyways. Okay, let's just let the money accumulate for a while still. From where we can just work these extra crop fields. I want to get all my crop fields going as soon as I can. Yeah, we're gonna need maybe another 2 years for this one, for all the weeds and the rocks to go away. But you can see our fertility is increasing very nicely. So what we can do for now, let's just see, where's the goat barn? Okay, so for the goat barn, we need a trading post before we can set that up. Okay, so we are busy with that now. The resource collection is going pretty slow because we are lacking laborers at this stage. So I'm going to take away one of the builders just to boost our labor force again. Okay, but at least we've got plenty of fish meat, so I'm quite happy with that. That will keep us going for some time. And we've got some hide, we've got some tallow. You see, now we do need the tallow as well. And I need my wagon shops. Well, that's it from me, everybody, for today's episode. We're going to take it further within the next episode. Off screen, I'm going to just build up my resources. When we start with the next episode, I'm going to definitely have to build up some resources. And hopefully we can get our goat farms up so that we can have a stable meat and hide production. Thank you for watching, and then I'll see you in the next one.
In a game of adventure and strategy, we make our mark. Still gamer, building kingdoms from the top.